Yeah, we have the ambition and the plan to become one of the leaders in content globalization. That means I want to be one of the best, if not the best partner that our large enterprise customers from all over the world will turn to help them deal with global content. How do they create global content? How do they integrate the content they already have? How do they manage it? How do they translate it? And how do they distribute it to the right person on the right device with the right personalization? That has become a huge problem for global organizations. There is a lot of volumes, a lot of languages, a lot of jurisdictions, the pace of change. So it needs to be automated. And we're building the company through software and services and processes that is going to be able to make this happen seamlessly for large enterprises. That's the type of company we're trying to build. The financial profile of the company will be one of a company that is growing high single digits. As a whole, will be a company that will be delivering mid to high teens profit margins, and it would be very good from a cash generation standpoint. It is an aggressive transformation. It requires a lot of injection of software. We have retooled the organization. We've added a lot of talent. We're changing the organization. There are kind of like 5 stages that we sort of decided. We had the first stage that was the assess and diagnose, which we kind of did in 16. Then there was the starting of the implementation of all the changes at the product level, services level, organization level. We did that in 17. In 18, we're optimizing, and we're starting to see some of the benefits coming into the second half. And then 19 and 20 will be the years of delivery and getting to that stated ambition. So it's a wonderful journey and a really exciting opportunity. Yeah, the transformation is coming in multiple fronts and the technology. So I talked about AI, and the company has a wealth of experience in machine translation, natural language processing, natural language creation, machine learning. And what we're doing now is getting that experience to play across the whole company. So it's not only dedicated to translation, we're now using it for content generation, we're using it for workflow optimization, we're going to be using it for resource planning. So the company is going to be using AI at the core of all of its operations. So that's one side of the technology evolution. The second one is converging sort of the web experience, the marketing content with the structured content side of the house. So how does a brand manage to unify what somebody sees during the pre-sales and marketing phase and what they experience later on the support pages? So that blended experience in global sites, multilingual, multi-content, multi-country, coming out in one blended experience is what we call the Tridion DX side of the house. And then we're making a transformation to move away from certain on-premise legacy software platforms to solutions on the cloud. So moving to a more subscription-based software model, a very different R&D model, a very different monetization model, a lot more annual recurring revenues. So we're well underway, that transformation. We still got some work to do, but very encouraged. Yeah, we define premium as just those spaces that are growing faster than the rest of the market, that they value more the type of solutions that we are providing, and because they're more complex, they're willing to pay more for a better solution, right? So there are segments of the market that are more what we define standard. They just want cheap, cheerful, fast. And then there are segments they want high quality, high value. So that's the premium space. Over the last 18 months, we've invested heavily both in life sciences and marketing solutions, and we made tremendous inroads. I mean, last year we grew over 70%. And that segment, it was a very much services-driven approach. This year, we're doing that in services, plus we have started selling software and technology and solutions into these premium verticals. So we're doing some multilingual submission management solutions for the pharmaceutical industry, and we're doing a GDPR compliant secure translation solutions. So we're starting to bring high-value solutions into these high-value, high-quality markets. It's growing faster than the rest of the industry, and it's bigger margins. So very, very committed to move more of the business to that premium space. So the first thing, you have to intercept the segments and the sub-segments that are growing the fastest. And there goes back to the premium solutions we just talked about. So much of what we have done has been repositioning our go-to-market model so that we go after fast-growing segments, premium and non-premium. And I think we've shown over the last 18 months that we've been able to get services to grow again. To the question of profitable growth, it's about finding better ways to operate as a business globally. That's taken a number of challenges to get us there. Second, introduce a lot more automation, a lot more repeatability, and a lot more software in the delivery model. So we started doing that. We're starting to see margin expansion. We are coming to the end of the introduction of a automation platform that is going to be handling the vast majority of the work all over the world. And we've already committed to significant margin expansion as a result of that. Going beyond that, we're going to be introducing AI above that platform. So we're going to be doing smart routing, we're going to be doing resource planning, we're going to be using intelligence on top of the automation to continue to expand margins and business agility. And as you do that, you'll be delivering a better service, which in turn will fuel the growth machine. So I think by the time we are through that transformation, we'll have a very balanced, profitable growth machine for language services. Yeah, one of my observations when I came in 2 years ago is that the company was operating too decentralized. We had one company, 38 countries, 55 offices, and there were nearly as many different operating models. So much of our efforts have gone into normalizing the operations and becoming a one operating company. We have created an operating system for the whole company. It's taken a number of difficult steps into defining what's the target operating model, what is the leadership model that we want, how do we operate globally to serve better global customers, how do we move from 5 different selling organizations, multiple marketing teams and finance teams to one. So that's bringing some simplicity and alignment in front of the customer. Then the second thing that we're doing, as I talked about, is a lot more automation. So we've done automation in services. We want to bring more automation into the back office. Overall, all of these things will result into SG&A cost reductions over 19 and 20. That's obviously the overall conclusion. We'll be able to do better, more with less. And then we will be using some of our own technologies more aggressively so we become a more agile organization. So we have to start from the very, very organizational basics, leadership basics, and now we're moving through org models, use of tools, and then finding efficiencies as we go into the next 2 years. Well, our stated ambition is that we believe that the overall company, by the time we're done with the transformation, should be able to grow at high single digits and get into that sort of mid to high teens profit margin. So that has remained a constant. And now 2 years into the transformation, we believe that's an attainable objective. We believe that all of our segments can play an important role into getting there. So they will all be there or thereabouts, which is also a nice thing. And we are going to see different segments getting there sooner than others, right? Because it's just the fix takes different amount of time. So I'm expecting this year to start seeing some of them getting closer. I think next year we're going to see further evolution. We've stated our plan to see gross margins in language services recover to 45% plus this year. We've talked about a number of KPIs this year in terms of linguistic utilization, behavior of our premium industries. So we've laid out a number of KPIs with the investor community, and we're reporting on them every 6 months. So that should be coming in. Obviously, there was a big milestone this year, which was closing the software deals, and that is slipped. It was something that we announced last month. So we just still a lot of work to do. We are in the optimization phase of the transformation. I think there's sort of like 5 phases. You learn about what you're dealing, then you design, implement, and then you sort of optimize, and then you start getting the benefits. So I think we're still in that optimization phase. So over the next year and 18 months, we'll be seeing a lot more of the benefits.